right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Down at the bottom left-hand corner of Crevasse, we have the one and the only QuanticIM.MVP.Genius spawning as our blue Protoss player. His opponent in the top left-hand corner is none other, arguably the best player in the world, and QIM.MVP.
Indeed it is. And the map is going to be Crevasse. Interesting pick.
Yeah, certainly.
Pretty good map for Protoss if you can get it into the late game and get on a ton of gateways.
Yeah.
Make things difficult for the Terran.
Certainly a, I will fully admit that we're one of the few tournaments that is still using this actively in tournament play. It is a very, very large map, and there are, it leads itself to very long games, a lot of close attack paths and stuff like that. But you called it, Colossus and Force Field is a very powerful combo here.
As are tanks.
Yeah, very true.
Tanks are really good on this map against Zerg, especially. I mean, because just like the terrain is so tank friendly.
I mean, if you actually, have something watching the Xel'Naga Tower and a tank like up here on the high ground, you can watch so much space.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Both attack paths running in with one tank.
That's really good to take the midfield with tanks and then just like slowly push on a Zerg. It makes it so hard for them.
So Genius is a guy who last year was one of those guys that was in competition for arguably best player in the world. He wins BlizzCon 2010, and he's still an extremely good player. Extremely good player, I want to mention, but hasn't posted quite the tournament results that we've seen of some of the bigger guys recently. Case in point, MVP.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the pedigree for MVP and the pedigree for Genius, I mean, it's not even close.
Right.
Genius did have those. He did get the round of 8 in 2010 GSL, and then BlizzCon 2010 he took the gold.
And in this last GSL season, he did pretty well. I mean, he was in Code A and won his first round of matches. Then he came up against July, unfortunately, and July did defeat him. But let's go ahead and take a look now. It looks like MVP is actually going to do a very fast expand here into the expansion inside of his base. So once again, a gasless FE out of him. We've seen that in both now his games that he's played against Protoss players. Genius, on the other hand, looks like he's bypassing first or second gas right now, and we'll see what he ends up moving into in a bit.
We will indeed. Now, I wonder, Genius picking this map.
Let's see.
What's his game plan? There are a lot of cheeses you can do on this map.
Also, we are in the 9th game. This is only a 10-map pool. I'm trying to think of the actual remaining map that's left. But, yeah, I mean, so he didn't have a ton of choices, and because we have gone through most of them, the idea when we set our map pool, very nice pick off of the probe there in the middle, the idea when we set the map pool was that we would have best of 9s, that's our standard in Fight Club and Team Arena, and then we'd have 10 maps, so that there's always one map that doesn't necessarily have to be used. And oh, look at this! MVP is actually going after that same gasless FE into 4X build that we saw last time on Xel'Naga Fortress.
I like that a lot. It gives him the option for both early pressure and taking a quick third behind it. He actually didn't do that last game. He didn't really do either of those things, actually. He did some mid-game pressure with SCVs, and
Guinea Pig did a pretty good job, though, of, for a long period of time, keeping his opponent pinned. He defended the one mid-game 2-base attack that you're referring to right there with those ghosts, and then just kept MVP contained to 2-base for a very long period of time.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
But as it stands now, we're going to see if Genius has that same opportunity. He's expanding himself and putting up gateways 2 and 3 along with a robotics facility. So nothing real out of the ordinary. 1 gate expand into 3-gate robo. Oh, but an SCV sneaks on by and does get a very, very good look at everything that Genius is doing, minus actually the robo that was at the bottom.
Yeah, so robo goes undetected. That SCV will get taken out at the natural, and it does.
Flounders its drill in the air as it dies. But, oh, man, it looks like MVP is going to start moving out, actually reinforcing off of all 4 of these racks at the same time.
It's better than the probe death animation. Probes just, like, fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, meow.
They just look like poor construction rather than being blasted apart by firearms. Much like the mule. Yes. You always wonder why it expires.
Yes.
Cheap construction. Anyway, so we do have destructible debris here in the middle, or destructible question marks as it is, going down at the moment. And MVP, by the time he actually gets through these, he's going to have, what, about 20 Marines or so that's actually reinforced?
Yeah, and that is the early game timing push that you try and hit with the gasless 4 racks. And there's the 3rd command center as well, so he's going to expand behind this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And here comes the Marines in the front right now. He's also got his gases up, and he's going to start working on those low armor destructible debris.
Yeah, this is the
Those are going down real quick.
This is the variety of the map with the 1 armor, 1000 HP destructible debris, so he's able to break that very quickly. And it's going to rely on force field control as... Oh, no! He doesn't get the force fields he wants, and MVP walks on through.
Genius with a huge mistake right there, letting about 20 Marines into his main. And MVP doing a great job microing, picks off a sentry right there. Now re-engages, actually stepping right up to the stalkers.
He's very smart right now because Genius thought he was going to go after sentries. He pulled back the sentries and exposed the Zealot outside of the Garden Shield, which MVP then focus fired down. So his control right now is actually staggeringly good. And he is killing so many units at the moment, including high gas ones in the form of those sentries.
Both of those Zealots also fell outside the Guardian Shield and went down very quick.
Yes.
And there goes another sentry and another one at that.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is brutal.
And don't forget, this entire time, MVP finished up his 3rd base, and he's going over to his factory. Many gases, macroing quite well in addition, so he is actually on a tear.
Yeah, he really is.
All right.
Almost kills another Zealot there. Both Zealots pretty low. Gonna go after that low stalker. Really wants to get it. Goes
So
after the
close,
low Zealot.
get it.
Picks it off. Great
Wow.
micro.
Yeah, actually incredible micro. Now, I know you may be looking at this and be like, oh, Genius holds and he's up in supply, but
No.
yeah, MVP has that next orbital command down, and as soon as the production from that starts kicking in, MVP is going to be in a huge lead in this game.
Yeah, he really is. He's got all those gases coming. He's got his add-ons coming. Starport now. I mean, he really just has to macro out of this properly, and he's in such a good spot. And just he knows he's ahead. He's just being so safe, dropping those extra 2 bunkers.
Yeah.
Going up to 3 bunkers.
Wants to make sure that some sort of 2 base 6 gate won't kill him or something like that. And but as it stands now, wow, Genius actually investing in Double Forge. Okay, Double Forge, a Nexus, and Twilight Council at the same time, having suffered a huge amount of losses from the... very nice job picking off the Observer there from MVP. But
What?
even after suffering those losses, decides to move into an enormous tech investment.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, now, you know, he's investing in so many things right now. He's got the 3rd coming. He's got the Double Forge coming. The Twilight's coming as well. Is he going to have enough of a gateway backbone, and are his Colossus going to be out fast enough to hold any kind of a mid to late game push here from MVP, or rather just straight up mid game? We're still kind of in the early game. We're at the
kind of
11-minute mark right now.
Or yeah, we're almost in 2 different spots right now as Genius is a little bit behind at the moment. Let's see here, though, as this factory starting to get shot, and that actually is going to force MVP back with his orbital command for a second. So nice job for Genius to make sure that he secures his 3rd ahead of his opponent, and that's going to give him the ability to maintain the supply advantage even while investing in all this tech. But he's got to rely on a lot of upgrades finishing up, and a good number of passivity from, or a good amount of passivity from MVP there. But it looks like MVP is going to move out with these 2 medevacs, and already a few stalkers in position.
Yeah, Genius is all over that drop, has units ready and waiting, and he was already selecting them right around the time the drop would come. So
yeah,
great timing, great game sense out of him right there.
All right, and all the units from MVP are starting to make their way out. We have our first couple of medevacs just finishing now, and those will be making their way out to join this army in a bit as soon as he fixes the rally point, and there he goes. And he's going to make his way in now. There's quite a few units out here for Genius, but a staggering amount of bio out now for MVP. And, oh, nice job picking up a few of those units in the medevac so he can back himself up and bypass those force fields, as that was a good portion of the energy from those sentries. And, oh, nice job picking off the pylon, preventing the warping of so many units, tearing through those Zealots at the moment, which are unupgraded. Ghost Academy coming up at the same time. Oh, and he's starting to chase down these super high-value, high-gas units right now, and Genius is in an extremely bad spot.
Yeah, I think Genius might just outright lose right here. He does have one more Immortal. If that Immortal goes down, I think he's in a lot of trouble. He needs that Immortal to stay alive and pick off Marauders and Doe, but he just doesn't have enough of a meat shield.
No.
He cannot stay alive here, and I think MVP is going to close it out for QuanticIM and take the entire Best of 9 series. Beautiful, beautiful performance on his part. Way to be the anchor for the team ace. No pressure, really. You just have to win 3 games in a row.
Against
Wins all
Code S
3
players, no less.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, what a
unbelievable
performance.
And, oh my god, picks off the production right there. Ah, tongue-tied, and there's the GG! And Genius has left the game. QIM's MVP has won 3 games in a row to bring the set back all the way through the ace match for IM. And QIM will advance into winners brackets finals here.
They will indeed. So very, very, very well done.
是上将。